Stop for a moment and think about the last time you felt trapped by the expectations of who you should be simply because of your gender. This struggle is more common than we realize, and in my study of Carl Jung's work, I've discovered profound insights that can help us navigate and heal these deeply ingrained cultural wounds. Jung was pioneering in understanding how our unconscious absorbs societal messages and how these influence our sense of identity, especially regarding gender norms. Tap into this with me, because healing this conditioning is not only about personal freedom, but about reclaiming wholeness as Jung envisioned. In modern times, many people experience confusion, frustration, or even shame stemming from rigid gender roles imposed by culture. I see in Jung's clinical observations that this inner conflict generates psychic tension that can manifest as anxiety, depression, and disconnection. In my research of Jung's cases, I encountered how patients struggled to integrate parts of themselves that society deemed unacceptable. These repressed aspects often relate to gender expression or behaviors. Twilight moments of self-doubt or shame are echoes of this repression. The urgency in addressing this now is clear, as social polarization around gender grows, dividing communities and fostering internal alienation. Jung's insight that the psyche strives for wholeness by integrating all its facets offers a path forward. He believed the shadow, the hidden or denied part of ourselves, often contains these rejected gender expressions. Embracing the shadow isn't easy, but it is essential. I want you to imagine a patient Jung described who was haunted by deep sadness because he suppressed his feminine qualities in order to conform. Through therapy, Jung helped him recognize that these traits were sources of strength, creativity, and empathy. This man began the arduous yet liberating process of individuation, becoming a fuller version of himself by honoring all parts. Jung's approach contrasts with reductionist views that pathologize gender diversity. Instead, he invites us to view gender as a complex symbol connected to both our personal and collective unconscious. Jung illustrated through active imagination exercises how engaging with inner figures representing masculine and feminine energies can facilitate reconciliation inside the psyche. For example, one patient visualized a dialogue between his inner warrior and nurturing female archetype, leading to newfound integration. In contemporary terms, this might translate to embracing non-binary identities or dissolving toxic masculinity and feminine stereotypes in ourselves. Jung's historical context is key here. He grappled with early 20th century gender norms, yet his ideas anticipated today's fluid understanding of gender as a spectrum, not a binary. His work challenges us to question inherited scripts and instead nurture an authentic self that blends diverse traits. Jung taught that cultural conditioning becomes toxic only when it cuts us off from what our psyche deeply requires for balance and growth. Real healing means reconnecting to the self, a transcendental center that harmonizes all opposites. Step by step, you can apply Jung's practical methods. For starters, journaling prompts derived from active imagination can help you dialogue with your inner masculine and feminine figures. Ask what qualities these inner figures want to express through you. Notice feelings or resistance that arise without judgment. Therapy rooted in Jungian analysis can deepen this work by bringing unconscious patterns to light through dream interpretation, myth, and symbolic exploration. Consider cultivating creative outlets or rituals that honor the integrated self. This might be painting, embodying archetypal stories, or movement practices that loosen rigid gender constraints. Above all, remember Jung's faith in human potential. The individuation process is difficult but transformative. It leads you not just to survive societal pressures, but to transcend them, embodying your unique wholeness. So, as you embark on healing toxic cultural conditioning around gender, keep this in your heart. Jung wanted us to know that the path to authentic selfhood requires courage, compassion, and above all, embracing all parts of ourselves. Because this journey reshapes not only personal identity, but how society sees gender, it holds revolutionary possibilities for collective healing. I encourage you to explore these discoveries with patience and kindness to yourself. Before we end, I invite you to consider why understanding the role of sexuality in individuation will deepen your work. It is a powerful next step. Jung identified sexuality not merely as physical instinct, but as a vital force transforming psyche and spirit. This insight can shine fresh light on how gender and sexuality intertwine in your individuation. It is an essential piece of the puzzle, and I cannot wait to share Jung's wisdom on this topic with you in our next exploration. As always, if you found this meaningful, please like, comment your experiences or questions, and subscribe so you can continue this journey toward wholeness with me. Join me tomorrow when we will uncover what role sexuality plays in individuation. It promises to be an illuminating conversation, building directly on the healing we began today. Stay curious and compassionate toward yourself, because Jung believed healing the fragmented self is the most courageous act you can undertake, and it truly changes lives forever.